All right. Welcome to another episode of the Brok'n Barstool podcast. And today it's just going to be myself and my right hand man, Orlando Venegas.
Actually, on his fucking right.
Actually, on my right. Dude, you've been doing actually, I guess it's entirely by fucking
By
random.
episode.
Yeah. But more recently, you've actually been on my right. But anyway, so this episode today we have just me and Orlando episode. We wanted to put something together. We've been really hammering hard on getting guests on the show, and we've absolutely loved it. I guess you know what, Orlando, we kind of do, and we probably will see a guest on this show. Right now he's chilling over there, but our our little in and out guest that we have coming through, Lou the dog.
The dog. Fucking.
Nope, and here he comes under the table and hanging out with us. Lou the dog.
He's a husky and what's the other thing they always call him? Malmut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Alaskan Malinois,
Yep.
Malinois or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. He's a mixture of those two.
But
Lou,
yeah,
come over here, boy.
no, dude, he's doing dog things now.
All right.
He's gonna go pillage the neighborhood. But yeah, so here we are in Orlando's home, about to lose one of our cameras due to our guest.
Fucking dog.
Yeah. Thanks of it. Yep, there he goes. Oh, he disconnected one of the cameras.
It's all right. We'll
But
keep
anyway, guys, we wanted to do just a me and Orlando episode, just so we could, touch base and this fucking dog, man.
See, there he is.
Yep.
And just in case you guys didn't see him now.
There he is.
There he
Hey,
is.
buddy. You're not covered in water anymore, which is nice because you rubbed up against my leg as you were soaked in water. But anyway, like we were saying, we just wanted to do an episode with just Orlando and myself, just to really cover some topics that we wanted to go over, and
Definitely.
not.
We got some words to speak right now.
Yeah, we've got some words, we got some opinions that we want to vocalize. This fucking guy, but I know I see him, but yeah, here we are. I just wanted to get into it. So actually, we're not gonna do a local beer because we spent a lot of the day indulging ourselves.
But it's like midnight when
Yeah.
we're recording this. By the way,
This is
this is why we're in this sort of a lighting, this sort of a setting right now.
exactly. We actually do have a pretty beautiful backdrop, but I doubt we can actually see it on camera. But yeah, so we're gonna mellow out. We're gonna go over some pretty good topics, I believe. We're just gonna have a couple modelos, and actually Orlando has a friend who gave us this beer.
Yes.
It's called Pilsner Urquell, or I'm saying it with a Spanish inflection on it, but
It's like a Czech beer.
yeah,
But
says it's brewed in Plzeň, Czech.
Yeah.
The original Pilsner.
The original Pilsner. That's the reason why I was like, oh fuck, we need to probably get onto the podcast.
In 1842. That is the inception of this beer. So if you can beat 1842, yeah, you might want to talk to these guys. But the original Pilsner. Orlando, we had kind of a crazy day, and we're doing this in at midnight, in a dark area. But I'm pretty excited about what we have to talk about, man.
Oh, dude, we got plenty to fucking talk about, dude. We've actually been planning this for like
A
uh,
fat minute.
a fat minute, and we definitely bounced around some ideas just between me and him, and we finally came down to these final ideas that we want to kind of vocalize ourselves on and give you our opinion, and hopefully you guys give us yours in like the comments and whatnot, and let's get some discussions going.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the big things that I thought was worth talking about is all of the all of the wildfires that are going on right now in the Pacific Northwest.
Oh yeah.
I mean, so watching and listening to our, I guess this would be 2 episodes ago when we went to Moscow
Yep.
with Roy and Yadira. I guess we didn't really like cover much of it. We didn't really talk much about it, but it was pretty smoky. I mean, the air quality was still good. We still enjoyed a long weekend out there camping, fishing, hiking, and
But
podcasting.
yeah, actually, believe it or not, there's actually a small fire not too far from where we were at.
Yeah,
We had actually a couple helicopters, and we were next to this reservoir, and that's where we went to go fishing. And the helicopters actually came in.
And they
it
were
was yeah,
yeah, they were drawing water from the same
it was
reservoir that we
so
were
cool
fishing
to
in.
watch that. Like they just came in, and like one of the guys just had like the sack, right, and he just went in, boop,
Scooped it
scooped up
up.
the water, and the other guy had the fucking vacuum, so he went in with his hose, fucking all hella long and shit. Kissed the water and was like, sucked all that shit up.
Yeah, no, it was a trip, and like we, and that did not see. This is how great and beautiful that Northern Idaho actually is there was 2 helicopters going back to back, taking water from this reservoir that we were fishing out of, and we still hit our fish limit.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and honestly, at first it was a little bit slow. I am gonna take credit because I caught the first fish, but
oh, there was some rude ass people. Let's just
Yeah.
say that there was
yeah.
some rude ass people. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna voice my opinion on this. You know what? So you know how right? You see some people fishing right on the dock, right? The polite thing to do is either one, off to the side, where you're not bothering where they're fishing, or you go just move on and find
Yeah,
another
find
spot.
your own spot.
Yeah. This lady with her 8 children, which
Yeah,
I'm not gonna blame her
crazy.
children. Okay, they're just kids, right? But a lady with her 8 children, um, came in, and she told all her kids, "Go ahead, get in the water."
Yeah, right
All
where
8 of them, right where we're fishing.
Yeah, like we're literally casting, and our lines were out probably like 4 or 5 feet away from they were swimming. And I mean, first of all, I was upset because that was a rude thing to do. They
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
even talk to us or anything.
No, they didn't say anything. They're just like, "Go."
Yeah, but I mean, aside from that, like it's dangerous. You just you really just told your kids to go fish where
Swim.
excuse me, to go swim where multiple people are fishing. That's a lot of hooks in the water.
Yep.
And I don't know. I just thought it was stupid,
Yeah.
but that's nor here nor there. I really want to get back to this wildfire thing. So,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
but one of the things that we saw, we actually going to this place that we were at, we were able to see where the helicopters were dumping their water, and it was probably about a good what.
At least a mile.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit more than that because it was still we were still in a safe distance away.
Yep.
That they didn't make us evacuate.
No, they didn't make us evacuate, but we couldn't have campfires.
Yeah,
Which is kind of a shitty part because we were kind of like hoping to do the podcast like that episode next to a campfire, right? Because it just kind of fits the mood, but we weren't
Yeah.
able to, so that's why we kind of shot it during the day.
yeah, exactly. And I don't think it really impacted us all that much the first couple days.
Not until we wanted s'mores.
Yeah, and then well, not just that, but like the air quality, I think just got a little bit worse.
Yeah.
Our last day there, I started really feeling it in my sinuses, and I started getting like, I don't know, that just the air quality was kind of messing with me a bit. But that's just something like I obviously living here the majority of our lives, we're not, you know, unaccustomed to seeing wildfires or
Or the
hear,
smoke.
yeah,
The big
or
thing
the
is the smoke.
smoke,
Um,
or hearing about them. But the thing was is like I've never really seen them, but it was just a trip because we're driving into our camp spot and we're like really really deep into the woods, and we can see like the smoke bellowing from these
yep.
things, and
Yep.
from how far we were, you can only imagine those flames were probably about 15, 20 feet high.
Oh yeah.
So it was just a trip, but just we did a lot of research. We did a lot of research before we went out there, and the whole Pacific Northwest is just like covered in wildfires.
Yeah,
There's
like especially like California right now. Like, they're having like the biggest wildfire guess ever. Kind of sounds like they always do every year, but
yeah,
I guess they're having one of the biggest ones ever. And I've been seeing like on the news and everything like, um, homes and everything just getting destroyed, and
yeah.
it's like my heart definitely goes out to them. Like
Oh, what's up, buddy?
that's just that's just horrible. It's just
Yeah,
sad to
yeah.
see.
My heart goes out to all the people that end up getting evacuated, or people who lose their properties,
Yeah,
and
their belongings,
as far as I know,
everything they worked hard for.
yeah. I mean, as far as I know, and all of the research that I've been doing recently, I haven't heard or haven't read any about anyone losing their lives, or any
Thankfully,
human. Yeah, thankfully. But it's a terrible thing to lose your property, especially everything that you love, work hard for, things that are not replaceable.
no.
But
I guess a home is replaceable, but the memories and everything you made in there,
yeah, I
no,
mean
that's
and also, dude, it's not just that. It's like, so for instance, everything that you fill your home with,
yeah,
and this is like extremely important. And I really need to do this to because I'm a homeowner. Is I gotta find a way, and I really have to go through all my stuff to monetize those things, because that's a big, 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 big thing with insurance. Is like, yes, they're going to pay you out if your house burns down, but you have to like document all the important and expensive shit that you have in there, or else you're not going to get paid out for that
no,
stuff. You know what I mean?
you're not getting your money back for that. 100% not.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this is more than just like physical objects, but I know like a lot of people have sentimental things. Like for instance, if you come from a military family, and you happen to have a flag given to you from a deceased veteran, that's something that's not replaceable.
Never, never
And
replaceable.
fire takes those memories, and they're just gone.
Dude, it was crazy, dude. I swear to God, I think it was yesterday morning, right? Yeah, yesterday morning, I fucking wake up and I look outside, dude. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? It's super orange outside, super orange, and it's because all the smoke that's
Yeah,
coming in
it's
from
kind of
all the
it's like
wildfires.
clouding over the sun.
Oh, dude, it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, and just like I said, we did a lot of research before we picked our camp spot, and I was looking at all the fire stuff, and I was on the Department of Agriculture's website to see all their fire warnings and all the restrictions and everything that was going on. And looking at that updated map that they have, and honestly, dude, it looks like the map has acne because of all the red spots indicating that there's fires. And it was like extremely shocking to see.
Damn, Lou.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, we were safe. We had fun. We had a great, great, great time.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, my heart goes out to all those people that are out there fighting these fires
Yes.
and helping to keep us safe. And my heart also goes out to all those people who had lost stuff in the fires. It's a pretty rough thing to go through. But
Anyways,
yeah,
on a more of a lighter note,
yeah. On a lighter note, let's bring this back into a positive. The Olympics are this summer.
Um, Funny fact, right? Actually, a lot of Japan did not want the Olympics to fucking happen, but they still went on anyways. They've been pretty cool to watch. I've been watching some of the highlights and everything. It's been pretty cool. I think it's been pretty cool to see skateboarding
Yeah, skateboarding is in the
as like a
Olympics.
big thing now, dude. It's crazy, dude.
That's I like that. I like that a lot, actually.
I do too.
I feel like they probably should have added that a long time ago, especially back in its hype years, like early mid two
When when
thousands.
when Tony Hawk was running that game and
Yeah,
everything.
and X Games was crazy big, and people had like, I guess the streaming or now, I guess it does a really good thing for is that almost everything is able to be streamed.
Yep, anything could be seen digitally from anywhere now at this point.
Yeah, but I mean, imagine seeing a bunch of the greats and stuff from back in the day.
Oh, dude, that'd have been fucking cool to watch.
Yeah, man, crazy. But the Olympics this year is a little bit. I don't know, man. It's a little bit bittersweet. I mean, it's great to see all the competitors and all
Oh
that
yeah,
stuff, but there's so much affecting the Olympics this year, and it feels, in a sense, like, well, obviously, it feels like political. It feels,
oh definitely, yeah,
it
hundred
feels
percent.
un, it feels very tethered to many different things, and I don't feel like, even though some of these athletes are doing incredible, all of these athletes are doing amazing, incredible things, but I think that the media isn't covering absolutely everything because there's so much clouding what is actually going on. I mean, I don't know. These athletes have been affected by current times, COVID
COVID, one of the big
and
things.
yeah, and these different barriers and hurdles that we have to jump now that used to never be an issue.
Did you know that they made all the Olympic participants? They made them all cardboard beds.
Cardboard beds?
Yeah, reason being is that it's supposed to collapse under the weight of two. So in order to stop Olympic people or Olympic participants from engaging in in
Fraternizing within each other.
yes, exactly, within engaging in adult activities, let's just say.
Yeah.
Uh,
The hanky
they
panky.
purposely made them out of cardboard so that it's supposed to like break under the weight of two people.
Then they end up just doing it on the floor.
I don't know, dude, but that was the whole point of that, though.
That's weird, man. I
And
don't see why the fuck would that even matter.
It's because they're trying to stop the spread of COVID.
Hmm.
Um,
I give that a big ol' hmm.
me too. Me too. I'm just like, man, I ain't gonna stop shit. And
Yeah.
just go find just go find a hotel.
Yeah. Well, did they forget the whole part where they're actually competing against each other in close contact with each other?
Yeah, very true. They're like when you see them line up like on the track and everything, they're arm to arm.
Yeah. I mean, if it's really that big that big of a deal, I don't see why they wouldn't just have. Well, I guess it can be implemented for everything, but if they are that worried about it, why wouldn't just each competitor compete in that event by themselves, get recorded, and then you at the end of it you'd
Leave.
see who did it
Yep.
the best. But like I said, it's not one of the things that can be implemented for everything. Obviously, some things are in tandem with other people, and you can't really avoid that.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I think, and that's another thing that the COVID's like fucked up is well, obviously the health of some athletes has been drastically diminished,
Oh yeah.
but also the training, the capabilities to train, and like, I mean, the whole gist of the Olympics is everyone around the world. The best athletes from every country come and they compete as
Yep.
long as they meet certain criteria. But I think there's handicaps out there, like certain countries had much, much, much stricter COVID protocol, and that didn't allow these athletes to really train and hone down their skills to, the best of their capabilities in comparison to some of their competitors.
But here's a silver lining to COVID, especially pushing it back a year. There's been like several athletes actually, where if it was still held in actually 2020, they would have never competed because they were either injured or they had something else going on, something
It
very
gave them
important.
time,
It gave them time. It gave them an extra year to be able to recover or whatever they had to
prepare
do,
themselves.
and come back. And I've seen like I can't remember who it was, some girl for some sort of gymnastic. Uh,
Simone Biles,
no, 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 no,
I want
no.
to talk about her.
No, not her. But it was like somebody from the USA, if I remember correctly.
Hmm.
She apparently did not was not ready to actually compete at all. She had like a broken leg or something like that, and so there was no way she was competing at all. And if the Olympics were held last year,
I think
but
that it was Simone, actually.
no,
No?
no, I definitely wasn't. It was somebody else. Definitely wasn't her.
Oh, well,
But
yeah, I don't know. I'd have to check.
I can't remember what their name was or anything. I know it's some sort of gymnastic stuff.
Hmm.
Um, I'm not. I'm definitely not versed in that stuff at all. But um,
Hold on. I want to talk about Simone though. Um, yeah, dude. So one thing that I thought was interesting, I could that I don't necessarily agree with. So they gave her a lot of shit because she had dropped out of a lot of the gymnastic events.
yep, for her
And
mental health.
yeah, and the thing behind it, the one of the leading things behind it was because in Japan, in these Olympics, it was actually it they made it illegal, or they ruled it out, that she was unable to take her ADHD medication.
Really?
Yeah, so I can't remember what drug it actually was.
Seriously?
Yeah, I guess in Japan they offer the drug she was on. What is it? Adderall,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Adderall, or what the fuck's it called? Maybe not Adderall. It was Ritalin.
Oh
So
fuck.
so it's actually been documented, and she had provided this information from the previous Olympics that she had competed, where she won multiple gold medals and was like a huge um, champion for the United States in her competition in
Yep.
gymnastics. But they had no problem because it isn't a performance enhancing drug.
No.
She has an illness. She takes it. It helps her focus. It helps her mind, really dial in.
100%.
And it brings her to a normal level. And that's something like, obviously, this illness doesn't affect everybody. So her competitors were where she needed to be. And, it's not her fault. And I thought it was kind of fucked up that they didn't let her compete, or she chose not to compete because in Japan, they started making that rule where she could not take that medication.
I actually didn't know that was the reason. I just know that she had to step away because of mental issues.
Yeah, she ended up deciding to compete in certain events,
Yeah, she
and
did. Yep.
I think she took the bronze medal
And the
and
balance beam,
and
right?
the balance beam. Yeah,
Yep.
which, I mean, granted, I she's just such an amazing athlete that, in my perception, I think she would have taken gold if she had the ability to take her medication. But
Yeah.
it's a pretty big thing.
For real. Like I don't see what's the problem with that at all.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's not physically enhancing her abilities. It's just, bringing her mental psyche down to a normal level, like a normal operating human
like
being.
she's been diagnosed and everything by professional doctors and everything. And mind you, she's an Olympian, so she has some of the best health care around.
Exactly.
No doctor's gonna lie about that shit.
Exactly. And it's just a Japan thing, but they were the ones who decided. They don't allow this use, but and the last Olympics that she competed in, she entirely dominated
Oh yeah,
dominated her fucking competition,
all of
taking
them.
home gold medals in almost every event and setting such high standards. And she raised the bar to an incredible height that it put a lot of other Olympians from other countries to shame. And I thought that, I mean, and you can't just like whittle it down to, oh yeah, it's because she had to take this medication. This medication made her focus, so it made her capable of doing these crazy amazing things. No, she had the mental discipline and physical discipline, and she is just so good um, at her sport. But like I said, that medication just kind of it brings you back down to a normal functioning level, and a level that everyone else has naturally. It just happens to be that she needs something to bring her back down. But
I don't know. I'm not cool with that at all.
yeah, you,
She should have definitely been able to just take the medication.
yeah,
I would have had no
it's
quarrels with
nothing,
it.
and it's nothing against Japan either. There's different, there's differences in every country. But I just thought it was funky. You know what I mean?
100%, 100%.
On a side note, though, I thought it was pretty kick ass that the United States took gold in every shooting event in the Olympics this year.
Have you seen the memes floating around about that?
Yeah, dude.
Some of the fucking videos and
The,
everything.
yeah, the internet takes like no time off whatsoever. You guys out there, you take no time off whatsoever. Those
This,
memes are ready and cooking the
dude, those
second shit
memes
happens,
and
bro.
those TikToks that I've been seeing about us taking gold in all those shooting events, bro, you guys are dark. You guys need some Jesus.
Yeah, you need some Jesus.
Oh fuck.
No, man, there's a whole lot of shit going on. And one thing, I don't want to spend this whole time just talking about the Olympics, but one thing that I really, really wanted to talk about because it was bugging me, and I definitely like I want to voice my opinion about it. Uh, Trans athletes. I mean, this is a very, very touchy subject because I know a lot of people. I mean, the tendency is to get offended when these hot button topics get brought up.
Especially how the Olympics are always split by men
Exactly,
and women.
men and women, and I'm not a person who. I mean, we are very open. We have no issues whatsoever with whatever uh, gender you identify with. That's great. I mean, it's a beautiful thing that you as a person are feeling your appropriate gender role. I mean, that's great. That seems like a great personal achievement.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, guys. Let's be fucking honest. It makes a huge difference in physical competitive sports.
Yeah,
And
it
I
does.
honestly, like you can argue with me if you want, and I will take my lickings as they come. But that was just a big thing. Is for instance, trans women and um, combat sports. That's it's. I'm just using this as a reference. To my knowledge, I don't think there's any trans women competing in combat sports in the Olympics.
Not that I know of either.
I know there's a decent amount in track and field,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, still, it still follows the suit. Um, so anyway, just using the combat sport thing as my reference here. If you live the majority of your life, you complete puberty as a teenager, and you're a grown adult, and you do all of that as a man, and your hormones as you're going through this, you are a man, and then you choose to regender yourself, and you become a woman. You go through your transition, and you now identify as a woman. You now have multiple years and an adolescence and a young adulthood and now an adulthood where your body produced these hormones that physically make you stronger.
Yep.
They make your muscles denser,
And
your
that's
bone is denser,
yes.
and it just gives you a physical competitive edge.
That's a scientific fact.
Exactly. And it's just, you can argue with me up and down, but that is a legitimate fact.
Yep.
And I
Yep.
just don't think that's right. I'm not saying that trans people should not
Compete.
compete. I
It
think that it should be. I think the Olympics need to,
figure out a
yeah,
system.
diversify their system in order to let these people compete within reason. You know what I mean? Like trans women compete against trans women, or maybe even trans people in general. They'd have their own category, their own division of the Olympics and competitive sports.
Hmm.
Because I mean, this has like long been over and done with and talked about and beaten 100,000 times. The man who transitioned into a woman, so a trans woman who fought in MMA, and her first opponent was a fetal, or what do they call it? A natal woman. So she
Yeah.
was a woman her entire life, her
Life.
entire existence, and this trans woman almost beat her to death. And that's just it's crazy, it's ridiculous, and the whole thing is like they let it happen. Excuse me, they let it happen because um obviously uh everyone is due their own privacy,
Yep.
and you can keep every personal thing to yourself.
100%.
And I agree with that 100%. It just threw me off because they made the excuse that it was a medical, well, I can't remember how they described it. It was a medical difference or a medical something, but they hid the fact that this person was a man for the majority of their life, and now they're competing against women. And I'm not saying there's not badass women out there that can't whoop some ass against men. That's 100% true.
There's a lot.
But I mean, just using logic.
When you're up against somebody that's also trained in a similar fashion, so skill set wise and everything, you guys are very very equal, but strength wise, that other person is just
Yeah,
unfortunately
the
gonna
well,
have that edge.
strength, resilience, recovery,
Yep.
everything, man. Because I mean, you find another woman who, or not another woman. If you find a woman who's 200 pounds and wants to fight me, even if I would get my ass beat, I'd be back on my feet and ready to go another day. But if this person did not know how to fight and I put the hoofs down, and that could be really, really bad for
Yeah.
that person.
Oh yeah.
I know I'm gonna be okay, but I can't speak the same for that person. And I'm not saying this in any sort of way to be, derogatory or negative. I just think there's like an unfairness there. I I don't know. I probably shouldn't have used myself as an example, but it was just, first thing. But yeah, it's just trippy, and um
It's definitely a very fine line right there. Very hard to determine just where we can definitely make that mark or draw that line, I guess.
yeah, and it doesn't extend to every event, or
No.
because there's obviously things that aren't physically demanding in the Olympics, like shooting or curling, or
Well, I guess curling is more technique.
well, curling has
You got some strength
co-ed
in.
teams, co-ed teams.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But
It's a lot more technique though.
yeah, exactly, and there's just a whole lot. But I mean, that was the main purpose of all of this. That's why they separated them within gender groups, male and women Olympics, because there is an obvious and undeniable difference. And I no way, shape, or form like bash or I'm trying to badmouth trans people.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that it's not their fault. It's not the athlete's fault. It needs to be addressed by the organization, and not just the Olympics, but every organization of competitive sport.
Yeah, no, the Olympics definitely have to get that sorted out for sure
Yeah,
on how to really like determine what those people end up competing in, not necessarily determine their gender, but what group they're going to be competing with.
exactly. But I kind of want to circle back and cover some other things that have been affecting. I mean, obviously, everyone is sick and tired of hearing about this, and everyone who has a mouth has at one point in time talked about this, but it's COVID. I want to talk about this.
Yeah, we definitely touched on it with the Olympics, right? It's definitely making its mark there. But COVID is still big, unfortunately.
Yeah,
It's definitely still has some countries shut down, especially countries where there's a lot of manufacturing that's coming out of there, and a lot of those goods come to the U.S.
yeah,
and we're really short on a ton of stuff right now. If you haven't like tried looking for some stuff, I don't know if you haven't seen it, but
yeah.
it's kind of hard to get some stuff right now. It's
A lot of things are on back order,
back order. It's
or production has completely made certain items obsolete.
cars right now. Holy fuck.
Oh, Jesus,
The
dude.
the market on cars right now, like especially a good truck.
Used vehicles are through the roof.
Yeah.
Used vehicles are through the roof.
Um the money you get out of a good decent truck right now
It's
is insane.
insane.
Yeah.
In
Holy
fucking
shit.
insane, dude. Okay, so let me put this in perspective. And honestly, this might be a little inside deal. So I work. I'm a mechanic. I work for a dealership, who specializes in refurbishing used vehicles. I'm not obviously with my description. You could probably put together, two and two. I'm not going to tell you the name, for legal purposes, but um, using that as a reference, I've witnessed people who have purchased brand new vehicles off manufacturer lots, Ford, Chevy, Dodge, blah blah blah, um, and then come and sell them to us, a used refurbished car dealership, and make a profit.
That is
Make a profit.
stupid right now. Holy
I've
shit.
seen people buy brand new trucks that are almost $100,000 and then sell them to us for almost a $10,000 profit after putting about 2 to 10,000 miles on the vehicle.
That's insane, dude.
Yeah,
Dude, the just the way COVID is like affecting this market, especially right now with like the housing in Idaho. It's
I'm so glad I bought when I did, man.
yeah, you are raking in the benefits right now.
Yeah.
It's hard to rent.
I, I,
It's
I don't really
hard to
feel
fucking
it because
buy a
I've been doing
house.
a lot of home repairs lately, but I know the equity in my house and my property's gone skyrocketed.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But anyways, to kind of get to what we were trying to get to with COVID, um, so obviously the CDC has released some new guidelines again about wearing masks and everything, even though if you are vaccinated and everything, which I am.
I
Um,
am not.
I did get myself vaccinated because I just wanted to be able to go out and do stuff without without
Any limitation.
exactly. Uh, and it's I don't know. I'm pretty mixed on on the fact that even though we are vaccinated, that we do have to wear masks. I get it. The variant is not all the way protected by the vaccine or anything like that. But I don't know, dude. It's got me some mixed feelings for sure, but and the way it's looking, just from the way it's looking. Okay, this is not for sure. It feels like we're almost headed to another lockdown.
Yeah. No, I agree with you 100%. And I mean, I'm not vaccinated, and I choose not to vaccinate myself. Um, it's just personal choices. The members of my family are vaccinated, but that's just it's a principle of mine that I choose to withhold. Uh, Simply put, if you bend for some, you break for all. And that's just something it's my own prerogative. It has nothing to do with any sort of agenda or propaganda, or I'm not a political person. I'm not left or right. It does, I am myself, so I make my own choices and decisions. But that being said, I'm aware of the dangers, and I'm aware of the impact it has on our society, our economy, on everything, on the world, really.
Oh yeah,
So
the fact the whole world's starting to shut down again. It's like,
it's scary. It's
yeah,
spooky.
it's like what the fuck. We were pretty close to going back to normal,
Yeah.
and like this whole summer has been, uh, pretty normal, I guess, compared to obviously last year. But, uh, we were having concerts, we were having, uh, all sorts of stuff open, like how we used to and everything, and now I'm starting to see, restrictions go back up again.
Yeah. You know what though? I think honestly, I didn't. Well, I saw hardly any. Well, I experienced hardly any impact from it. Even last year at its peak. Um, it. You know what? I take that back. I experienced the the challenges in a different way.
Yeah.
So when it first started, and they started getting really big outbreaks, and people were freaking out, buying all the toilet paper and all kinds of crazy shit.
That was fucking wild, bro.
I was
That was wild,
yeah,
dude.
I was in the oil field in New Mexico, and I was in a
Ooh.
little small shitty town. A lot of crime, a lot of crazy shit, drugs and whatever. Um, and riots. Riots was a big thing. They actually had,
Oh yeah, for what's the name? George Floyd.
well, yes, for George Floyd, and also for COVID, because people were trying to get supplies, and
Oh
big
yeah,
big
getting
stores were,
supplies and all
yeah,
that. I remember now. Yeah.
yeah, there were like heavy limitations to things, and everything was running out, dude. It was fucking spooky.
Oh yeah, you. I was seeing like grocery stores putting like limits like on bread
Yeah,
and
you know what though? Like, this is, I did not care at all about this. I was like, yeah, it's gonna blow over, blah blah blah. But I got I got scared. My family got scared. My siblings got scared, because I mean, obviously working in the oil field, we were super heavily impacted, and everything started to crash. We hit at that time an all-time low in U.S. oil prices, which I know,
which is good for the us consumers out here.
yeah, good
Two
for,
dollars a gallon. Oh, those
it
days.
was good for the consumers, but when a barrel of oil was negative like $40, they were losing $40 per barrel we produced, and everybody in the oil field, this is their livelihood. Everybody has their own opinion, and I respect that. I respect that.
Yep,
A lot
yep,
of
yep,
people
yep.
want to go away from using non-renewable resources like oil, but that was my livelihood and my family's livelihood for a
Mhm.
long time.
Mhm. Mhm.
So to some, it was the greatest thing ever. And like I said, I'm not left, I'm not right. I am my own self, and I make my own decisions, and I choose accordingly to what is the most appropriate benefit. But it just got so fucking spooky. Everything was shutting down. People were getting furloughed or fired, or entire companies, multi-million dollar corporations were going
Word.
down, which, you
Yeah.
know, down with big business, blah, 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 whatever. But everyone they employed was going down with them.
Yeah, they were
That's innocent families.
working at retail. Like we saw quite a bit of changes. good amount of people let go, like good good people, and just they were just let go.
Yeah, at one point I had 3 vehicles because I was living well. And I got to the point where I had nothing. I was selling stuff to try to make ends meet. I took, extensive, heavy percentages in pay cut. Um, it was insane. I felt like I was gonna lose everything.
That's
And
scary, dude. Because
yeah,
around that time, you were actually like moving back to Boise.
yeah, I had was in the process of buying my house in Idaho, and I was ending my time in New Mexico, and it was like super touch and go, and it all, the tipping point was this virus, it was this disease, and a lot of people freaked the fuck out. I'll admit I freaked the fuck out, not for the health reasons of the disease, but for the impact on our economy and our government. That was what really fucked with me, and especially in the area that I was living in, people were. Yeah, that's another thing. See, people were trying to get supplies, and when supermarkets and stores didn't have anything, they were
Low on
break. Yeah,
stock or
well,
closed down.
people were panicking, and there were a lot of burglaries. My house was broken into, actually, in New Mexico. They came in, they broke through my kitchen window. They didn't get inside because my dog was protective, and she was actually stabbed
Damn.
in the stomach from the burglar,
Fucking.
and she
She
survived.
survived
Shout
that.
out to Eva, you bad bitch. I love you. But yeah, no, man, and it was a trip because the crime rate, living in an already high crime area, and then when everyone starts to panic and everyone's heavily armed, it was very fucking spooky, and nobody could keep up. And National Guard was actually started stationing themselves in within that town that I was living in. There were sandbag checkpoints throughout the town. There was hard, um, what are they called? Curfews. There was hard curfews. Like I said, me working in the oil field, I worked 24 hours a day. At any time of the day, I could be called to go and do
Go
my
do something.
job.
Yeah.
And I was actually given a letter that was sanctioned from the governor of New Mexico, saying that I was an essential worker, that I had to do this because it was part of the infrastructure of the state.
Same. I got the same thing. I got the same thing too.
And I'd actually gotten pulled over once because I'd left my house. I was on a trouble call, and I was going out to a very remote place about 3 in the morning, and I got pulled over, and they asked me for my paperwork, my essential worker paperwork, because they pulled me over. They're like, "What the fuck are you doing out this late? We have a hard curfew." And I said, "I'm an oil field worker. I'm going to work," and they let me go.
Dude, I remember that where Idaho implemented that rule as well, or if you were not an essential worker, you were to remain at home and everything. I remember because we have the store that I work for does also like deliveries of products and stuff, and they obviously they weren't allowed to go into people's homes anymore. They were they were literally instructed to drop their stuff in the front lawn and tell them have a good day. You figure it out. Like
Yeah,
we were not allowed to install it or whatever the fuck it was. Here it is. Figure it out.
exactly.
Figure it out. But anyways, since I work in Twin, and then to the north of us, about an hour and a half away, is Sun Valley. You know, the whole tourist area and everything. Um, Sun Valley was actually one of the big hotspots for COVID when it first all started in the state of Idaho. And I remember the delivery guys were telling me that yeah, they actually had like National Guard and police entering that entire area, like that entire county.
You know how fucking spooky it is to pull up on a place or pull into a town or city or whatever and be greeted by Humvees and sandbag
Y-
checkpoints.
Yep, is exactly what was going on, dude. They were telling us like, "Yo, we had to like show them all of our paperwork and show exactly what we had on the truck and what address we're going to, so that we get permission to go into that county because it's Blaine County, and so you had to have like special permission in order to go into Blaine County and go do stuff in there. It was
That's fucked.
crazy. Oh, dude.
Yeah,
Uh,
dude, that's fucked. And
it was just wild times, bro. Wild times that we were living at that point.
and you know what though is I think we're on the verge, or if not on the verge, at least teeter tottering between going back to that and going back to normal. With this new variant that came out and the new protocol coming back, I think we're teeter tottering between the two.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, there's still social events and all kinds of stuff, and masks aren't really required in a lot of places still.
Yep.
But I'm seeing that like Orlando,
More.
yeah, Orlando just mentioned that just at his work, he's now. Are you now required again to
I
wear a
am.
mask?
Yeah, we are required again to wear masks, whether you're vaccinated or not. You are required to wear them.
Yeah, and I actually started seeing that at my work too. I mean, where I'm at in the shop, no one is required to do any of that. Social distancing thing is gone. Um, but I see up front within the sales team and business office, they have now re-implemented certain COVID protocol. They're all wearing masks. They're all social distancing, and everything goes off of like a scheduling basis.
Yeah. Same thing. Same thing. It's just you never know when we're just gonna go back into lockdown. But
Exactly.
going back to just normalization. Um, Obviously it's all fun and exciting to finally go back and go be able to go do stuff again, go visit countries, go to these events, go to concerts, go to everything. One thing did stand out to me as we're starting to kind of go back to normal. Shootings. There was actually one not too long ago at a Padres game,
Yep.
a baseball game. Okay, uh, I, baseball isn't as big as it used to be, but um, at a
Still not. I mean, I'm not saying there's a place for shootings because it should never happen. But
no,
of
but
all places, a fucking baseball
a
game.
baseball game, and it kind of got me thinking, like, uh, since if we ever do go back to normal, which hopefully we eventually will, um, are we just gonna pick back up wherever we left off? Because remember, throughout almost all of 2020 and a good chunk of like 2021, obviously we've had some other incidents before that, unfortunately, but for the most part, there was no shootings. There was like nothing going on,
Yeah.
and well, obviously because the whole world was on lockdown, but it was kind of a good thing, you know.
Yeah. You know what else, dude? Weird thought. But it's trends for suicide have gone down.
There you go.
Trends for suicide have gone down. Which is weird because a lot of people are struggling with mental illness that has been triggered by
By
lockdowns.
being locked up, by being cooped up for so much.
But
But
honestly, I think another part of it that I think that not a lot of people actually talk about is how much Americans as a society uh, work. Like, I know there's a whole lot more. This is just, scraping the surface, and I'm opening a big can of worms. But I think that goes to show something is that um, I think having people take breaks like this and not have to worry so much about the ability to or inability to take time off and enjoy their lives. I mean, everyone out there, everyone listening is still human. You have family, you have hobbies, you have needs that need to be fulfilled, and I think that is the norm. That if you want to be successful or if you want to maintain a certain kind of lifestyle, you have to work continuously and you got to work hard and you have to constantly be at it in order to maintain whatever lifestyle you're living. But I think this is a positive, and this is an attribution to why suicide rates have gone down, because now America as a whole, as a country, as a society, has finally gotten a break.
which is very needed. Very
Yeah.
needed. It was nice because like I wasn't working as much, um, and so I had a lot of time to go do some fishing.
Yeah,
Lots of time to go do because that's practically one of the safest things you could do because you're out in the middle of nowhere, and you're only close to people who obviously don't care. You know they're close to you because you know they could care less about what's going on. 'Cause they just want to enjoy and have a good time. So
mm,
and those are some fun times, man. Those some good times.
yeah, man, it's this whole thing's just been a crazy, crazy roller coaster,
Oh yeah,
and there's been ups, there's been downs, and I've experienced this, so I feel like it's very different than the majority of people that I know. Because I know people, and I also work with certain people that have contracted the disease, and I've heard both sides of that. I've seen both sides of that coin. Um, and well, not obviously because you guys don't know this, but uh, earlier this year, I was actually when I first moved back to Idaho. I was working for a different company that I am now. Still a technician, still a mechanic, but I did not get furloughed. I did not do any time off. I was working crazy, ridiculous amount of hours. And the company that I work for now, this is actually the second time I've worked for this company. I came back, but when I first came back to Idaho, I applied for my old position, and I never heard from anybody. And I just thought that maybe I had left a bad taste in someone's mouth, and I was on someone's naughty list or
someone's shit
something.
list.
Yeah, which I was just kind of getting in my head because I am actually a very, very, very good employee, very good worker. But
So you
I
think?
thought I just thought maybe I had offended someone by leaving.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I attributed to me not getting called back. But I later found out wasn't that. It was because everyone was furloughed. Everyone had been furloughed, and nobody the job listing had been posted, but nobody had responded to any of the applications because everyone's gone.
Yeah, there was nobody to respond back.
Exactly. There was no one whatsoever. So that was just it was interesting. It was interesting. Do I think I would have benefited from a mandatory 2-week quarantine? Abso-fucking-lutely. I would have really indulged in my hobby. I think Orlando and I would have done a shit ton more podcast. I would have thrown copious amounts of rope. No.
If this shit goes back to lockdown again, like holy fuck, dude. Uh, we're probably gonna be churning out episodes a little bit more fresh.
Exactly.
But I guess there's always a silver lining to one of these, to this.
There is. There is. It all
If
comes down to perspective, man.
we go to lockdown and everything, obviously we probably won't have crazy adventures like in the middle of the forest, but who knows? Maybe we'll still have some guests. Maybe not.
Probably not.
Probably not.
I know Zoom is an option, and we actually have a Zoom and
We tried that once.
yeah, and call-in capabilities. Actually, with our audio equipment, we are capable of taking viewer or listener calls.
It's just not the same.
Yeah, yeah. See, I agree with you so much. It's ridiculously stupid. I'm not a fan of the whole Zoom thing, and I hate Zoom on a podcast because not only does it the quality of audio look
Isn't
like
as good.
or sound like shit. But it also doesn't. I need to have that connection with the person that I'm talking to and the people that I'm around, because everyone rides each other's waves. I tell you right now, if I was a little sour puss right now and I was super aggressive and angry and I was like, oh, I don't want to do this. It's late. I'm tired. Orlando would feel the same way, because you transfer that same
Energy.
yeah, you transfer that same energy, you transfer that same behavior, because he's like, this guy's an asshole. He doesn't want to be here, and we're doing this because we have to, and it's no longer fun. But that's what I need. I need that interaction with everybody else, and I mean, it doesn't really relate to us making this podcast, because everything that we've done on this podcast has um, been under a very, very positive light, and even heavier topics, we still approach them in a sense that everybody involved is still happy. You know, we all have our own opinions, and not everyone agrees, and that's something that we've
Yeah,
experienced
we've
while
definitely.
doing this podcast. But the big thing is that it really just comes down to the feel, the vibe, the talking to the person in front of you, and really, picking up on what they have to say, and you see their characteristics, you see what their movements are when you're talking about certain things, and you don't get that over a phone call, you don't get that over Zoom,
No,
which
you don't.
yeah,
No, you fucking definitely don't.
so we have the capabilities, but I just choose not to, and I think Orlando will vouch for me there.
Yeah, I definitely. It does. It's just not the same at
Yeah.
all. We gotta have like that person to person, that connection that we are when we are in person versus looking through a screen.
Exactly. So we I know we said we wanted to change subject and go into lighter stuff, and we really kind of screwed the pooch on that one. But I think we should reel it in a little bit, and that's like we just been preaching for the last almost an hour.
Oh yeah.
Um, let's have some fun. Let's end this on a light note, and not talk about so much gloom and doom. But we mentioned this beer earlier. We only have one, this Pilsner Urkel, whatever.
Or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, from Plizen or Platzen, Czech
So we're both
Czech
gonna have a
Republic.
swig out of it.
Yeah, well, we're gonna share this because we only have one. But they claim to be the original Pilsner, which is a pretty big thing if you ask me.
Especially
Or-
to us.
Yeah, especially to us and whoever beer drinker might be listening to this. We're gonna give this bad boy a try. I don't think it's a twist cap, but I'm gonna try it anyway. It is very much not a twist cap. That hurt my hand.
Oh, that was satisfying as fuck.
That was satisfying as fuck. I'm gonna go ahead and give this little lady a good old swig, and then I'm going to wait to describe or talk about it because I don't want to influence your opinion,
Alright, alright, alright.
and then we'll go from there.
Alright, hurry up, take a drink. Alright, bring that back boy over here. Let me get a swig
I
of that
have
shit.
ideas. I have ideas. I have ideas. For the person just listening to this, Orlando gave a face of confusion.
Alright, can I go first?
Yes, sir.
It tastes like fucking tortilla de maíz, bro. like that
Tortilla de
store bought
maíz.
shit, not that not that homemade shit. That store bought shit, dude. Oh, what the fuck was that? Oh, nope, not for me, dog. I'm going to totally give that a fucking 2.
Really?
I'm gonna give that a 2.
I like it.
What the fuck is wrong with you? You
I
grew
do.
up on tortilla de maíz from the store, didn't you?
50-50.
Oh fuck, dude.
No, dude. That is a good pilsner.
Uh-uh.
That is a good pilsner.
Uh-uh. Nope.
No, fuck. Pilsner or killer, however you pronounce this. Someone, please correct me. Someone, please correct me. But that's fucking good. It's tasty for a pilsner. I drink that all day.
Fuck no.
Overall taste rating, about a 6. Um, but going off of what it's supposed to be, and it's a traditional pilsner, that's a horde 9, horde 9. Actually, you know what? Since I haven't had anything as authentic up to this point, it's gonna be a horde 10.
Damn.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't usually have pilsners. I guess like Miller Lite or Miller. You know the
Popular one.
Yeah, popular pilsners. That is good. Orlando, do you want another swig? Because I think I'm
No.
gonna keep it.
No, you can fucking
I
have
like
that.
this for the camera. Take a gander. Take a gander, Goose. Take a gander, Goose. Can you pan in on this? Where am I? Right there. I'm like a Vanna White right now.
For all my Mexican fellows, that is tortilla de maíz in a fucking alcohol drink.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. It's fucking disgusting.
Nope. It's taste.
I
It's
like
pretty
tortilla de
tasty.
maíz. I
It's
like
pretty
that.
tasty.
I like that tortilla. By the way.
Oh, dude, you know what though? When we finished that earlier podcast today, I called my mom. I was talking to my mom, because we are in my hometown, so I'm gonna go see my mom. And she's like, I made gorditas, and I was like, fuck yeah, gorditas. And she's like, yeah, chicharrón and chile verde and all this different shit. And I was like, I was rocked up, and I was like, yeah, I'm hella excited for this food. And she's like, I made them out of maíz. And I was like, what? Gorditas from maíz? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, fuck. Like, my entire life growing up, every time she ever made gorditas, which is for the person who's listening to this that doesn't know what I'm talking about, a gordita is just a thick flour tortilla, and I mean like thick, kind of like a pita bread or
Yep.
a fajita
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
But it's thick, it's fluffy, it kind of balloons up, and then you cut it in half. Or not like through the middle or anyway. You just slice it open, and you fill it with whatever filling that you're using. In this particular case, it's chicharrón or meat and cheese or beans or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a little hot pocket of love and good deliciousness. But yeah, she made them, and she actually made them out of corn this time. And my entire childhood growing up, she always made them out of flour.
Yep. Same here. That's what I'm used to is flour.
So I'm trying something new tonight to soak up some of this beer that we've been drinking throughout the day.
We've had quite a bit of beer. Holy fuck.
Yeah,
My liver's gonna kill me tomorrow.
sensu beans. my friend.
Sensu beans. In case you guys don't know, sensu beans are what's it called again?
Something with an A.
Excedrin.
Excedrin.
Yeah. With
We
an
are
E.
no-
It's an E.
It's an E.
Yeah.
We are no way, shape, or form affiliated with Excedrin, and we have no ties to this company, but we use the product, and it saves your life.
It's pretty much what it is. It's just a
Caffeine. Yeah, it's a caffeinated acetaminophen pill.
Yep.
And
So it helps with your headache and it gives you energy.
yeah, it gives you a little boost.
So that's why we call it sensu beans.
Sensu bean.
Especially after a fucking long ass night out.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, dude.
I'm
You don't
gonna
know
have
how
to get
many-
myself some sensu beans in the morning.
You don't know how many times sensu beans has saved our bacon for sure.
Oh, and then we rally again. We always end up
With
rallying
mimosas.
again. Yeah, sensu
mimosas.
bean, and a couple mimosas. They do They do your body good. They do you so good.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I don't want anyone to misconstrue this. Do not take medication and drink alcohol, please. I don't want anybody to come back and say, Juan in Orlando told us to do this. We didn't. We didn't. If you're old enough to drink, you're old enough to make your own choices.
Exactly.
And take everything that we say with a grain of salt. We are stupid. We are ridiculous. And don't listen to us.
That's like the opposite you want to say on a fucking podcast.
No, I mean, just the stupid, silly things. I mean, that's we talk a lot of shit. So I mean, everybody out there's smart enough to make their own opinions and decisions. But
Anyways,
that's yeah.
I think I want to pull it back for just one last topic before we send this bad boy off.
Okay.
Logic's back.
Logic's back.
Logic's back. In case you guys don't know, he just released an album and shit.
Yeah, hip hop fans. Bobby Tarantino 3.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty good album. I like it.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty good. But anyways, that's not the point I'm trying to bring across. But
What is the point?
on his last album, right? In case you guys haven't heard it or whatever, one of the biggest things as to why he was heading to retirement was his son.
Yeah.
His son being born.
He had a son.
And the other one was he was just tired of the internet.
Oh my God.
He was
If I honestly,
tired of the
aside
internet.
from this podcast, if I could unplug everything, you know what? I could be entirely integrated with, what we are doing with modern life and modern society. If I had, or if we had, like, a team of people who manage those things, I would completely disconnect.
All we had is just Nokia phones, those fucking old school
Yeah,
ones.
and I'd just fucking hang out and play Snake. I'd play
On that
fucking
2-inch screen.
yeah. Sometimes I've had certain people give me a hard time for the amount of time I spent in the bathroom because I'm playing on my phone, even though using the restroom only takes a handful of minutes or whatever.
Yeah, bro, you gotta sit down.
Yeah, you gotta sit down,
You
you
gotta
gotta
watch a
enjoy
video,
yourself.
or you gotta read an article or something, dude.
Yeah, read an article.
If you don't
watch a
do
video,
something while you poop, there's something
play
wrong with you.
play a game. Look at different little apps or whatever. Do whatever the fuck you want. It's your phone. It's your life. Don't let people control you. But if I could disconnect, I'd pull a little plug and have a whole team manage that stuff. I would. I definitely would. I'd give myself. I don't know how many times I've told people in my life that I want to get rid of my iPhone and get a fucking like clamshell, or I'd buy a Motorola Razr.
That fucking Nokia phone, bro.
Yeah, that Nokia, and I just I'd play Snake on the John. I'd sit on the John and play Snake, and I'd be there for an hour because I suck at Snake, but I would play it.
But the reason why I bring the whole Logic thing up is it kind of hits home with us a little bit because obviously he makes content, he makes music, he makes for people and everything, and
Yeah, he's a video game streamer too.
yeah, and he took a break from all of that. Like, well, I guess he said he was going to retire. Obviously, he came back out.
For the people just listening, he gave finger what are they called? Apostrophes? What are they?
Quotes.
Finger
Air quotes.
Air quotes? Air
Yeah.
quotes, yeah.
Yeah.
Apostrophes, what the fuck? Yeah, he finger apostrophe. No, fuck. Anyway, sorry, I'm just tripping over my words now.
Anyways, it kind of hits home with us now a little bit, especially me, where
Yeah,
now we're kind of like in that same sort of industry now, like in the industry of content and entertainment and everything. And if whether, one day maybe, what if we do that? What if one day we're like, fuck it, we're done making podcasts for a bit. We just want to go and live life normally, and
yeah, it's
we're
kind
just
of
gonna
like
do us. And I mean, it's something I kind of see as that's not like out of the realm of question for us because, um, in case you haven't noticed, me and Juan don't have personal accounts like on Instagram or Twitter or anything, and there's a good reason for that. We have kind of already disconnected ourselves from all sorts of social media.
Yeah.
Um, the only social media that I particularly do have, obviously, the stuff for the podcast, and then I have Snapchat still only just for just for contacting certain people, and that's practically it.
Yeah, and also, I mean, I don't know if anybody will actually or has actually done this. Like, my social media accounts are actually still up, like they're still active. I haven't deleted,
No, I've deleted mine.
except for Snapchat, which I actually deleted. Twitter, I actually deleted my own personal accounts. Um, but my personal Facebook is still up. I'm not active. I don't even have the apps on my phone. The only apps I have on my phone as far as social accounts are Twitter and Instagram
Instagram, but that's only
because
for
of
the
the
podcast.
podcast. But those accounts are still active. I mean, if people from this podcast or people listening to this podcast, hear this, I want to send me a friend request. I'm sorry to whoever you are, but I'm not gonna see it.
You're not ever gonna see it.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I'm still your friend from afar. Follow the podcast.
yeah. You do yourself a favor and follow the
Yeah.
podcast. But
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with why Logic did what he did. I mean,
I would too.
he's a new father. Uh, internet is a very very tricky thing to maneuver through.
The internet is like it's good
It's
in some
fucked.
places and then it's really fucked in other places. Like holy shit, some of the stuff you sometimes see, it's like just this other day, I was watching this video about this pretty famous YouTuber who does gaming and everything. He goes, some of you might know him, but his father recently just passed away, and obviously he announced that because he was going to take a break,
A
from
sabbatical.
from uploading videos and stuff like that. So he takes time to mourn and everything, right? And I guess there has been some people that have been like saying like good riddance or like
Jesus.
they've been saying some really fucked up shit about his dad on his
Yeah.
videos and stuff.
Yeah.
Like
People can be really fucked up. And I mean, thankfully, our fan base and our followers are very great people
oh
and
yeah,
very
oh yeah,
positive people. And like we've mentioned on every podcast that we've done, is we really really appreciate your guys' feedback, good, bad, or ugly. It doesn't matter. We really really appreciate it.
mm-hmm.
But no one has ever attacked us personally. I mean,
No,
obviously, I've mentioned this before. Some people have commented on like our weight gain or whatever, but it was like, and fun and
yeah,
camaraderie, and it was we take our lumps because people are cracking jokes. We crack jokes, and that's like 50% of our show,
exactly.
and we understand that, but. I don't know. Taking it to that kind of a personal level is just it's ugly.
It's
It's
so fucked up, and I see why like uh, people like Logic and other artists and entertainers and everything just take those breaks because like it's
yeah.
you see that shit and you're like I don't need to put up with this shit, dude. I'm just gonna go and walk away for a bit.
I 100% agree. And I'm not saying this is in any way, shape, or form what we plan on doing,
No,
but
no,
it's
no.
not out
Yeah,
of. But in the same sort of deck of cards, it's not out of the
it's
realm.
a
Not
possible.
out of the realm of possibilities.
Yeah,
Yes.
it definitely isn't. Like um, I know one of these days, we're just gonna be like,
Let's
fuck
take a
it,
break.
fuck it,
Yeah.
we out for a bit.
Yeah. And and I need to I've said this before, but I need to give more public recognition for Orlando, because if it wasn't for Orlando and my godson Abe, a lot of this wouldn't happen, because they are they are my team. They are my team. You know, he's up. He's the one with the late nights doing all the editing and stuff, and he's the one that's making sure audio equipment is upkept and everything like that. We have a lot of time and money invested into what we do,
Oh yeah,
and
it's not cheap.
it's not cheap. It's not cheap, and we're doing this out of our own pocket, and uh, actually today we just started paying Abe. Yeah. And let's just let it be known he's not raking it in. It's not as lucrative as you would
Definitely
think,
not.
but I just
It's
felt that
something.
it would be fair to compensate him for his time and his discipline to put up with our bullshit.
For real.
No, but
If somebody's
it's all
willing to,
family and it's all love here, man. It's great. It's great.
if someone's willing to put over that bullshit for how long has it been? Like 4 hours now,
Uh,
at least.
exactly.
4 or 5 hours.
Today.
Just today alone.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
He hasn't been involved in every episode, but the ones that he can. And that's something that, honestly, guys, keep this in mind. If you don't want to pay for the content on Patreon or whatever, if you do, keep in mind that this money doesn't come into my pocket. It doesn't come into Orlando's pocket. It helps either pay for this production,
Mm-hmm.
or it helps compensate the people who help make this production possible.
Mm-hmm.
Henceforth, Abe, or henceforth Megan, or other. I guess we could probably just call them producers of this show.
At this point, yeah. They
Yeah,
got a good amount to say as to what goes on now at this point.
yeah, they do. They do a lot of the photography, a lot of the video. I mean, I'm not an asshole who just like sits back and lets everyone do everything. You know what I mean? I'm still carrying packs, and we help set up mics, and I fucked up really bad, and managing the audio interface once. Which, okay, I'll take this. Orlando, don't make it to the point where I'm not allowed to touch it, because I need to better myself. It was just a little oopsie where we lost about 15 minutes of audio. But
On a very good episode.
on a very good episode. But yeah, I mean, we are all 100% involved in this, and like I said, the Patreon, I really really want you guys to utilize this, because I mean, like I said, it's $3, $5, and $8 for the content that we're putting out that nobody else gets to see or hear. And it's not going into any of our pockets. This isn't a get rich quick scheme.
No.
This is paying for the production, paying for the people making this production happen.
It helps us a lot more than you think.
Exactly.
Just doing this stuff.
Yeah.
We enjoy doing it, so.
Exactly. And like I said, this isn't going to stop happening.
No, not for a good while. At least.
Yeah, because I'm having way too much fun doing
Oh,
this.
yeah. It's been so much fun just reuniting with people from the past.
Yeah.
And going
Just
to
having
these trips.
these great conversations with people is worth it enough for me. Is enough value for me. But I mean, the moments and memories that we're building and creating just doing this show, I don't think we would have had any sort of an inkling to go out to the middle of the forest in northern Idaho. I know that it fits our character, because obviously we chose it for a reason.
Yep.
But I don't think it would have actually came into premonition if it wasn't for this podcast.
No, dude, I don't think this podcast has given us the push and the reason to do a lot of the stuff that
Exactly.
we're doing right now. Especially again the camping trip, the Brew Fest, Um, that was just those are just some of the highlights that we've had so far. We've had plenty of other times as well. I think one of my favorite ones was um, 4th of July and just you know relaxing after that after recording that episode and shooting off some fireworks and just
Shooting off fireworks, yeah, and just having a good time,
oh yeah
enjoying some food, and really, I mean, we wouldn't have normally gotten around this such a good group of people if it wasn't for this show.
no no
But anyway, uh, Orlando, if you agree, I think we're nearing the end here.
I think so too. I think
Yeah, here we are.
I think it's time to wrap it up.
It's time to wrap it up. It's almost 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
It's almost 2 in the morning. We
Oh,
mustered
fuck.
up enough energy to get through this episode. And I know we've had a hell of a time today. We've had a hell of a time putting all of this together. And Orlando, is there anything that you'd like to add?
Thank you guys for all the support on these last episodes. Especially this episode. As soon as you guys hear it, this definitely was more of just picking our brain.
Exactly.
I know some of you guys, some of the feedback that I got from some of you guys definitely wanted to know more about what makes our brains tick, especially like on events that's going on in the world. And so this is just kind of response to that. And hopefully, if it does good, we'll keep doing it. If not,
Yeah,
then
well-
obviously we won't do another us episode about this stuff. Maybe we'll do more us episodes.
No, we're
still,
going to do more us episodes.
but just not in this fashion.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyways, thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. Orlando did a really good job, covering that. We're not gonna stop. Like we've mentioned in the past, we'll stop doing this when it's no longer fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm having a fucking blast doing all of this stuff.
Oh yeah.
Everything's been great. I love talking to you guys. I love getting the feedback. I love everything about it. And you know what, man? Just because we're kind of batting into left field here, can you give us the sign off?
Oh shit! All right,
Yeah.
all right. I'm gonna do it this time. Fuck yeah. Anyway, all right, guys. Well, thank you for listening, and as always, stay safe.
Be safe.
Or be safe and stay thirsty.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.